Hey,
Hey
everybody.
everybody, I'm Jamie,
And I'm Sonia.
and we are live
Why? Because
because
we
we
said so.
said so. Hey, oh my God. So we start doing this little thing,
Mm-hmm.
which we will post the question that we're going to talk about. We post a question on Tuesday that we're going to talk about on the show on Wednesday. This was quite hilarious.
Yes.
Sonya, you had the video, right, of the girl, right?
No, I didn't get the video because I
Oh
want
my God.
no. I'm sorry.
I wanted the video because the girl was so I'm gonna have to find the video and post it on the feed because the video, I don't know if it was the girl that was the
No.
daughter,
There were people talking about it. They were
but
it was
she
another
was so,
show.
the girl was so, I was like, I mean, I could feel her energy. I mean, I'm like, lady, you're bitter. So you, anyway, tell them what it's about, Sonya. Go ahead.
Okay. So as Jamie said, there is a video. In the video, there's a mother. The mother is saying that she is not going to attend her daughter's wedding because the daughter wants the father to walk her down the aisle. And of course, as you can tell, the mother and the father are not together. She didn't say the father was never in the girl's life. She just said that he's not in it a lot. He was not in it a lot, and that she did the majority of raising this child. And she is very offended by her daughter wanting to have him walk her down the aisle. Now, I don't think she wants to walk her down the aisle. I think she's just more upset that the daughter wants the dad to walk her down the aisle.
No, finish. Not just that. What else did she say?
That she's
Sonya.
not going to be attending the wedding?
Yes!
No, I said that.
Oh, did you? I missed it.
You poor
That's
baby.
that's the big part.
I
She
said
was,
that at the beginning.
the lady is like, if she have this mother scooter, walk her down the aisle, I ain't doing it. I'm
That's
not
what she
going.
said.
I, uh, I'm just listen. I am on. Okay, so we put it out there yesterday, and we got a lot of people's input, which was great because I am a person that if you give me good enough reason, I can change my mind. Like, I'm not one of those people that I'm stuck in what I believe. Even though people
Mm-hmm.
think I am because of my personality, I'm really not. I am a person that really believes you can change my mind if I feel it's a good enough reason.
I didn't see
So,
not one reason in your thing that would change my mind.
what is your take? I want to know your take.
So
What you
I think that the mother needs to go to her daughter's wedding. I don't think this is about the mother at this point. Like, I know that someone mentioned preserving your peace, and I understand that, but there's a way to do that. I mean, do you expect that what's going to happen at this wedding is that he's going to walk down the aisle and he's going to turn to you and he's going to say, "Look, she chose me to walk down the aisle, even though you raised her and I wasn't know what." No, he's not going to do all of that. So, like, for these, however many, what, weddings take what, 10 minutes? 10, 15 minutes? Weddings are very fast for all of the money you spend and all of the pomp and circumstance that you go through. Give your daughter this because we all know that kids have a tendency to try to please the absent parent. That's just one
for
thing
sure,
you'll never
for
be able to
sure,
change.
for
And,
sure.
and at this point, let your daughter have this moment and then just move on and go about it. You don't take if you don't want to take pictures with him, don't take pictures with him. But let her just have this because to her, for some reason, She feels like he's done enough to do that. To get that honor. The daughter feels like he's done enough, even if the mother doesn't.
You know what? I don't necessarily believe that the daughter believes he did enough to do it. I think because, and of course, again, we get this off of social media. We do not know these men.
Right.
This is our opinion. So I think the daughter wants a fairy tale wedding. She wants the wedding of her dreams. The dad walking me down the aisle. I'm assuming it's no stepdad in the picture. She wants the dad walking her down the aisle. She wants that picture perfect wedding. And that includes a daddy walking her down the aisle. Now, I don't know if the mother thought I could have walked you down the aisle. I hope that's not what she was thinking. The woman in the video was so agitated that I had to look at the video a couple of times and read some of the comments because I'm thinking, is this I even went to their page because I was like, this lady was so angry and
And it wasn't
agitated.
even her. It
It
wasn't
wasn't
her.
even her.
No.
And I mean, because I literally went through the page where I saw it and I saw that they have like a podcast and she was on several, and I'm like, it wasn't her. That blew my mind because the lady's energy, we gotta post this video. The lady's energy was so that I'm
I'm
like, oh
going to
my
share
God.
the video. I'm going to find the video and I'm going to share it in your post of the question of the day so
Good.
that people who can see the video.
Yes. Because she was so, and it's so sad. A number of things. Okay, first off, it, like one person said, it depends on what happened in the relationship, right? I mean, we just assumed they didn't get along, blah blah blah. It could have been something way deeper. He could have done some crazy stuff. It could have been DV. It could have domestic violence. It could have been
That's
anything.
true.
It could have been anything. So the mom is like, I'm not going nowhere near this man, because he might have, if it was domestic violence and he still have a relationship with his daughter, she's not going to, kids have this mentality of me. A lot of people do, not just kids, but a lot of
Right.
kids, you know. And so based on that, the daughter is like, it's my wedding, blah, blah, blah. Because kids can be very, very selfish, and they don't see the long haul. The all the stuff that they went through and the mental breakdowns and stuff that people have in trying to raise them, deal with the ex and all of that stuff. All that stuff is a lot. Would I've gone to her wedding? Him, his mama, his auntie, all of them could have showed up. I'm going to the wedding. Now, when they get back from the honeymoon, is when I snatch my daughter up. I'm not gonna ruin your day. I'm not gonna ruin your honeymoon. But in the end, if I felt that bad about it, something had to have happened.
And you know what? I would hope that she could have that kind of conversation with her daughter. Like, so even if I went to my daughter and I said, me and your dad, don't have that kind of relationship. He used to beat me. I
Right,
had to get away from him. You know how difficult it is for me to be in a room with him. And then
right,
if the daughter said, Mama, I don't care. This is my day. That's when I would have been like, well, you know what? I'm not going to be able to be. I love you, but I won't be able to be there because I have to protect myself because I don't know
for
what this
sure,
man is still capable of. Now
for
I can
sure,
see that. But if
for
you're,
sure.
if it's just okay, we had a bad breakup. He cheated 15,000 times. I kept taking him back. He kept cheating.
Right,
We finally broke off, and then we can't stand each other now. Then I'm gonna deal something to get past this, and I'm gonna do whatever I need to do. I'm not gonna even look at. And you know what? Sometimes it could be like and this is kind of off subject, but there are a lot of people who like. So my son's father, like he was in and out of his life, but my son knew his dad. He went to live
right,
with him. He did this. He did that. And if my son wanted to do anything with his dad, it was okay because I'm gonna let you do it, even though I didn't feel like he was there as much as I think he should have been there.
right,
But he was. They had enough that they
right.
knew each other, had this relationship. But I made that choice
Right.
to have the baby with him.
Right.
So
Right.
it's not his fault, you know.
Right.
But people would say stuff like Happy Father's Day, and I'm like, I'm not nobody's daddy. I don't care if I took him to baseball practice. I don't care if I took him to
Right.
football practice. I'm not his daddy.
Right.
He got
I
one.
agree with that.
Just because
I
you
agree.
don't see him,
Right.
don't ever wish me Happy Father's Day.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with that.
You know
That's
that's not
annoying
my
me.
thing. But
Yeah.
a lot of people feel like I've seen people on Facebook and on social media. They get all, yeah, I'm the mama. I was there, and I'm
I'm the mama and the daddy.
right. But you're not. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
never be that.
Children, well, it's that's why it is so, 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 so important that you it's so hard to say because people get so hurt and offended by it. But you got to be, I mean, you got to think about these people that you're having babies with. And if
Exactly.
you have a baby with the wrong person, then don't expect them to do a whole lot because that's just who they are. If
Right.
they wasn't
And
a
you may
good,
have thought they
if they
was the
weren't
right
a good
person.
boyfriend, and they were, and they could end up being a good daddy. But if they don't end up being a good daddy, I mean, like, what you really expect? I mean, like, he was a
And to be
loser.
honest, girl, I was so shocked because even after we first broke up, my son was with his daddy every weekend. Girl, I was dropping him off. I'm like,
Right,
come get him, cause I'm gonna just take him. I mean, I love my child in
right,
case he listens. But
right.
I was like,
Oh,
I was taking him to his
he's
dad
about to
every
learn. He's
weekend.
about to be a daddy. He's about to learn.
Right, and he's gonna
That
learn.
love,
So
that
he
love, that
But
love
he
doesn't
was,
require
but
you.
like he was there, like, and then at
Right.
like when my son got like 16 or 17 is when like he became more sporadic. But that was because of things that was going on in his life.
His
It
life,
didn't have anything
exactly.
to do, right? It didn't have anything to do with my son. It was just some things and choices he was making in his life.
Right.
So you have to adjust. You have to turn around. Like,
Yeah.
and people will tell you, my son's dad was the nicest man you could ever meet. Like my family now, they'll still say he was one of the nicest people you will ever meet. You know, and I just feel sad that him and my son never got to reconcile before he was tragically taken. But I've never had animosity for him, even though all the things we went through together. And I just could not see. I'm like, what did they go through? I mean, that really, what is it that really happened in their relationship that is so bad that you can't even be in the same room with him for
Right.
long enough for your daughter to walk down the aisle, get married,
Yeah.
and move on?
But a lot of times, and I hear it, and I definitely see it on social media. A lot of times, it depends on how they left the relationship, right?
Yeah,
So they leave, they go get with somebody else that have kids. Now they're happily raising those children as their own and leaving their kid to the side. You would be mad. I mean, like, what in the heck? I mean,
Jabby,
there's a
let me tell
lot
you
of
this. My son's dad was cheating. He left. Now, mind you, it was my son's babysitter's his daughter. So the mama was like, we were all in the military together, and the girl's mama used to babysit my son, so they always knew where I was at because she was babysitting my son. So they ended up getting together, and even after we broke
him
up,
and the babysitter.
no, the babysitter's daughter. So me, him,
Okay.
and the lady was all in the military together, and the
Okay.
lady's mother babysat my son. So
Okay.
that's what I said. So they always knew where I was because the lady had my
Right.
son. So they knew, my move, so they know how they can move.
Right.
So, and even after we broke up, they were together. They got together. Do you know I was taking my child over there every weekend? Cause I'm like, Tanya is not gonna hold any animosity against nobody. Y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do. Long as y'all
Right.
she treated my son good, that's all that matters.
Right. I'm
Honey was
done.
gone, having
Right.
fun, living. So I'm
Right.
like, y'all got to at
Yeah.
some point in your life let some of this stuff go. Cause unless he was knocking you upside your head or whatever,
Right.
cause 9 times out of 10, most of them end up breaking up because of the one thing, what? Cheating.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and I ain't gonna even
Yeah.
say one cheat. I'm talking consecutive over. You
Right.
know, that's
Wait a
usually
minute.
what it is. But I'm
Wait a minute.
like, and I
Sir,
was still
come get
young
your
then.
kid.
Yes. Girl, I would meet him. I would take him to their house.
You're right.
He come out the door. I wave at her. Girl, I'm like, I don't care. Y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do.
Look, I'm done. I've released myself from this
Right.
problem. Come get your child. Look.
Right. I don't have time for the foolish no more. Y'all go on. Long as she, he was old enough to tell if something was happening. He
Yeah.
always had a good time. She had a son. I think her son was a little bit older than him. And he treated him like a little brother. I'm like,
Did
go
he stay
ahead.
married to her? Or did they get
No, he
married?
didn't. They didn't get married. They were just together.
Yeah.
There was the same old thing. She did to him what he did, so it was just all. But it was just, I was like, gone.
You ain't stopping me from moving. Come get your kid.
Exactly. Come get him.
Yeah.
Meet me at the
That
store.
that's the thing. It is so, I mean, I can't judge anybody walk with that. I try not to judge
Right.
folks at all. Whatever you do is what you do. I won't do it. And that's not a judgment. That's what I won't do. But I think that I would not want to hold that kind of anger and animosity towards somebody where it affects me.
Right.
It's okay to be mad. It's okay to whatever, because I mean, people make you mad, period. But to be that mad where it affects you, I mean, the video itself affected me because I was like, oh my God. I mean, like, girlfriend is woo. And then to say I would not go to the wedding of your
Right.
daughter, of your
Right.
child, period. That I'm like, wow, that's a lot of anger.
It
That's
is.
that's
That's
some anger that needs to be worked
yeah.
on.
And she needs to see what it is that is causing her to stay that angry because you're giving that person so much
Much
power
power.
over you.
Woo, baby.
And that's a lot.
That's a lot of power to be that man. I don't want to be that man with anyone. I am the person that we can have an altercation, whatever. Once the apologies are done, I'm like, okay, we good. Now you may not go back in good friend mode, but we cool. I'm not, because I don't like being mad
Okay,
like
let
that.
me read this. This
Oh
is
boy.
from your sister.
Mm.
She said, that would be a no. If you haven't been in her life, why would you want to come? No, sir. Stay where you at. And no, I'm not bitter. Don't care about you at all. But no, sir.
But wait a minute.
So, Shanice, it wasn't that he wasn't in her life at all. He was in her life, but it was
We
in
don't
and
know
out.
that. We
No,
don't
that's
know
what it
that.
says. That's what it says in the video. It says that he's in and out. He was in and out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says he was in and out of her life. He wasn't a
Would you
full.
go?
He wasn't
So,
a.
Shanice, if she invited him, would you go to the wedding?
Right. So the daughter
That's what.
invited the father to walk her down the aisle. Is what the problem is, and the mother is saying that if that happens, she is not going to the wedding. So
Yeah.
would you go to the wedding?
Look, I saw a video on some social media platform where the father was walking his daughter down the aisle, and when they had, how you, before they come to the church part of it, he walks her to the door, and then he turned to her and said, and it was a real video, and he turned to her and he said, hold on a minute, and she's looking like, what? And he walked to the front row and grabbed the stepfather, and
Wow, I think I saw
both
that.
they both walked her down the aisle. Now that I love. I mean, because
Yeah,
obviously he's paying homage to this man that actually was there raising his child. Like he wasn't, didn't appear that he was a deadbeat dad. So he paid homage to this man. You know, the thing is, we have got to let go of all the anger, animosity, and just look at it as, you know what? We didn't stay together. Mind you, I say this, but I also make it really clear, unless it's domestic violence, stuff like that, of course, at that point, all bets are off,
Right.
girl, then I probably wouldn't go because that's triggering. That stuff
Right.
does not go away,
So
you know.
Shawnee said, she says, yeah, I would go, but she would know that I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, honey, at the week after she come off that honeymoon, baby, it's on and popping. But the thing is, if she wants to have her daddy in her life, we're going to have a conversation because there may be babies coming. And if you feel so adamant that he needs to be a part of your life when he wasn't before, then we got to learn how we got to navigate this thing. Because first Christmas and all of this, if he's going
Right.
to be there and I'm going to be there, and I hate this man. I mean, like, it seemed like, there's some strong hatred out there. If that's the feeling, then y'all got to work it out. You have got to work it out. It is a lot of animosity. They're holding on to it. And you just cannot, man. You cannot hold on. The hatred eats you alive.
It does. And I'm curious as to whether or not the daughter had more of a relationship with the father than the mother knew,
New,
especially
exactly.
as she got older.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. And I think too, as the daughter gets older, she will look back and go, because sometimes, whatever your parents do or whatever as a child, you don't realize the sacrifices they made. I had a
Right.
conversation with a friend earlier, and she called on this topic. She called and she was like, I got a relationship with my dad as I got older, and I remember my mom's mentality behind that. I'm like, really? Like, all the sacrificing I did, everything I lost out on, and all of that. Now you gonna have a relationship with this joker, you know? And that wasn't her words. That's kind of me paraphrasing, y'all. But
Okay.
anyway, but that was the gist of it. She's like, and I had to go back and talk to my mom and say, you know what? I'm sorry, because I did not realize how that would affect you, because you sacrificed everything for me, and he wasn't there. He was off living his best life. And then when now I'm grown and successful, and now he come back in the picture like, hey, and you're looking like, yay, my daddy's here, even though I'm grown. You want that person. And the
Yeah.
mama sitting
And
back going,
I think as parents, we have to realize too that, we did what we did because we chose to have children. We chose to have children. And I don't think it's fair, even though we may have sacrificed, we may have done this, we may have done
right,
that, for us to deny that child the relationship with the other parent. I mean, it could be the mother they want their relationship with,
right,
it could be the father they want the relationship with. And I mean, like, how do you tell your child, I I don't want you to be with him because he didn't do nothing back then. He
right,
this or he that. I mean, like, how long do you hold on to that, and
right.
why do
And
you
she
guilt
made a
your child?
point.
Because that sounds like a guilt trip. Like, you putting a guilt
Right,
trip on your child for what this person didn't do. Like, prayerfully
right,
we can all change,
right.
and
And
hopefully this man is changing.
she made it a point to say, she said her mom never said anything, but she could tell that it bothered her. And the sacrifice, when you make all the sacrifices and this person gets to just live life, like no problem. I don't have a child. I don't have to worry about feeding and all of this stuff. And then you come back like, oh, what a good job. Now you run around, oh, this is my baby, and my baby's now this, that, and the other. And you're looking, see, the person I'm looking like, sir, now stop. I mean, like,
And I would probably tell him that. I'd be like, boy, you ain't did nothing.
but now stop.
No,
And not to say her
I would
dad
be
did that,
like,
because I don't know what he did, but I
but
do
I would
know
still want my
that
child to have that relationship if that's what they wanted. But
if
I'm
that's
gonna
what they want,
tell you, don't be taking credit for nothing I did.
baby. Now that I'm going to stop, put all brakes on. Like, no. I mean, because you do still hold that animosity of you lived your life while I was over here trying to figure out how to keep the lights on. And you didn't care if the lights was on, because if you did, you would have came over here and asked, are you okay? You knew what you were doing. You paid nothing in child or whatever the thing was. You know, if the parent, and does not have to be the daddy that's a deadbeat. It's a
It's a whole lot of deadbeat mamas.
whole bunch of deadbeat mamas, a whole bunch. You know,
Yes.
and so the child will always try to. It appears a lot of times that the child loves the parent that's gone.
Yep.
And it's like it's not a matter of that. It's a matter of they want that person to love them and stay.
Yep.
And some of these people are so ridiculous that they don't even, they're immature. They don't realize that. So they just go little, oh, hey, baby, and go run off, and you don't see them again for another 6, 7, 8 months, not realizing they're destroying their child,
Yep.
But back to the pop topic.
Girl, we always go we always go a long way.
Right, all the way around the block to come back
Right.
to the topic. I would still go to my child's wedding.
Me
But
too.
baby doll, we gonna have a talk. You're gonna know why. You know why I don't like him there. You know why I don't. And yes, it was your wedding. Yes, it's gonna be the baby shower. Yes, it's gonna be the this, the that, and the other. Do understand. I went because this was a big deal. It was your wedding. I might not show up to the baby shower. I
You'll be
might not show up to the first Christmas, because if I feel that much about it, I'm not going to keep putting myself in those situations. I'm not. I have to protect myself mentally, spiritually, and I have to protect myself. I will not show up to the other things. And I would make that clear. Now, however you feel about that, it's going to be on you. But I will go to the wedding. But if he gets out of pocket, baby, you just created a whole bad
You
situation.
know
Because
what's funny though is that the person is probably not even he's probably not even thinking about her. Like she going through all of this and he's probably not even giving her a second thought about.
oh, that little sucker know what he did and why she can't
No,
stand it.
I'm sure, but
So,
I'm saying that he's probably not even thought that his presence there would be so strong to her that she would say she's not
oh no,
coming to
he knows.
the
If she
wedding.
if she feels that strong, he knows. And I think as a man that know what you did wrong, sir, whether it was you knew we were out here starving, one paycheck away from homelessness, and you kept going with your life, if that was whatever the situation was, I think if he first start with a note, because you might not want to be in her face, but send a note or something and say, you know what, I know I wasn't this person or that person in your life. I apologize. I have since, of course, matured, and I realize that I made some mistakes, and I want to apologize to you. That goes a long way.
I don't know because I've found out that there's a lot of times that we think way more about somebody else than
True.
somebody else think about us.
That's
So
true.
what
That is
he may not even think that the things that he did would lead to this type of animosity. And he, like you say, he went on and he lived his life. He may not even have thought that. He probably think that everything is, especially if the daughter is saying, "Daddy, come walk me down the aisle," and then he gonna be walking down the aisle and he gonna feel this burning in the back of his head, and he gonna be like, "What in the
and he better
world?"
hope it's not what is that gun? A 35 special or whatever that thing is.
Okay, she
That's
gonna be
burning.
like laser focused on him. Make sure he don't do nothing stupid.
Yeah, but I think if she's that angry like that lady was in that video, I think because to me that says whenever he did come around, she cussed him out. She's a
Probably.
short.
And you know what?
So
Maybe
he
that's why he didn't come around.
true. That is true. I
You never
agree.
know.
Because I see a lot of guys on social media going, yeah, I'm not dealing with all of that. It's a video out. Oh my God. Okay, I gotta say this. It is a video out on social media where this girl is on, and let's say it's a Ford Explorer or something. She has a itty bitty baby. This baby looks
Oh,
like
I
it's
saw that.
and she's hanging on. He's
Hanging
trying to
on
get
the
away.
side.
She's hanging on to the car, rolling with the car with the baby in one hand and holding the top of the car. He's driving. He stops and like get away. She
And she
is
still
not.
keeps trying to jump
She
on.
look, girl. I mean, that's crazy. Nobody wants to put up with a crazy person. I'm here to tell you. No one
And
wants
she
to
didn't
put
care
up.
nothing about that baby.
Girl, oh my God. I my look, my
I
son, he
saw
tried to
that. I
kill me.
was like,
But
this
she
child,
cared
where's your
nothing.
mama?
Yeah, right. I mean, the guy is trying to get her off the car. He's trying to get back in the car. She's floating. Like, cause it's crazy. I'm telling you. So my son, don't kill me, son. My son was saying, I was talking to this girl and he went away on vacation and the girl hit him up and I guess he was like in his zone. He ain't answering no calls or whatever. And girl, she went ballistic. Mind you, they're talking. They don't even live in the same state. She's going ballistic because the first thing I said was, she don't know where you live, does she? Because she sounds unbalanced.
Okay.
She went, but you're what do you call it? Ghosting me, and just crazy. And then he was like, Ryan's favorite thing is baby girl. Like, you're tripping and blah blah blah. No, then you soft, then came back and apologized. Oh, so you don't know how to deal with conflict, girl? I was like, please don't let her know where you live. Because
I know that's right.
she's like, something's wrong.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Girl, I, I was like, oh my God. I seriously was concerned. I'm like, oh my God. She is not letting it go. And he's like, it's all good. You go your way, I go my way. We were just on the phone. It wasn't like we had a real relationship.
Right. Now, what
This
if it
girl,
really had a relationship? Oh, my goodness.
girl, he was like, oh my God, mom. I'm like, yeah, she blocked her, whatever. I don't even know if that's a good thing to block her. You might need to know how she moves. I don't know.
Okay.
Because
That's
she
scary.
sounds like she needs medicine. But it's just crazy how people are. I don't know. I think back in the day when we got mad at our guy, I know I was kind of like crazy, but I ain't like try to
Not
burn him
that crazy.
to the stake. Yeah, no, definitely
Mm-mm.
wasn't that crazy. I'll throw something at you now.
Girl, give me your 30 seconds.
But my 30 seconds is, you know what? You want to maintain a relationship with your child, no matter what, mom or dad. And unfortunately, parents do step out of their kids' life sometime. And I think it's beneficial to the child to have both parents in her life if it's at all possible. So, mom, suck this one up to the game and go to the wedding, enjoy yourself because later, first off, if you don't go to the wedding, the whole time you're going to be sitting there thinking about the wedding. So, you
Right.
may as well go. Go
Right.
to the wedding, you know, just try to have a good time. Some of your people will be there. You'll be having a good time laughing with them. Stay away from that man. But baby, don't ever, just walk away from your child based on somebody else. I don't care if it is the dad. So
Exactly.
that's 30 seconds.
So my 30 seconds are pretty much the same. Don't let somebody else get so deep into your head and your heart that you cannot support your child. You know, we know, like we say, if it's something like domestic violence or something like
Right.
that, and you are afraid for your safety, have that conversation with your child and just do what you can to keep yourself safe. But If it's not something where you fear for your safety, then just do what you can, because you will regret missing that
Right.
moment. You will
Exactly.
regret it. You will
You
definitely
really
regret it,
will.
because that's one of those things you cannot get back. You cannot do over, and
You're right.
it may even impact your relationship with your daughter. Is it
For
worth it?
sure. For sure.
So,
For sure. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm
yay!
so happy to see y'all. We back on track. So we will see you all next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. This is my first time messing up. Okay, let me start over. See y'all next time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain, and 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh my God. You know, I can't do the fingers. I think when I try to do this, it's not connecting. It's like chewing gum and whatever they say. You can't do two things at once. I can't do that. So it's 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.